Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Healing Honey. If it's your first time here, welcome. So I want to share with you guys 5 things I learned when I quit smoking weed. I know a lot of you are here and you are on this healing journey or this path. Maybe you want to take a break from smoking, or you're curious to know, or maybe you've already put it down. And if so, I'm so proud of you because it can really have a hold on you sometimes because it can make you feel so good. And so, somewhere deep inside, maybe you want to break free. You want to learn how to feel good from the inside out without it. And it's possible. Okay, so for anyone who's new here, I used to smoke weed pretty much daily for around 10 years, all throughout my 20s. And I learned how to self heal. I learned how to quit that bad habit on my own. I love to share with you guys these little tips on how to do it. And these are the things that have changed in my life. Like what I can see now in retrospect that I wasn't able to know back then when I was smoking. So, what's the first thing I learned? Okay, 5 things I learned when I quit smoking weed. The first thing I learned was that I don't need it. And that's a huge thing because you feel like you need it. You get so comfortable in your comfort zone, wanting to use it all the time. It numbs your feelings, it gives you that instant happiness boost. And you start telling yourself, you convince yourself that you need it. Your body gets used to it. But the truth is that you don't need it. I don't need it. We're coming up on like 4 years of me quitting. I truly healed myself because the thing is that I don't feel tempted by it. You guys know that it's legal now. Like I could go down the street and get it legally from a clinic, but I don't even have that desire within me anymore, which is why I know that I truly healed. Okay, so I didn't have to go to any program or anything like that. If you're healing and if you truly want to quit, like if you're just tired of doing it, then check out my course and I'll link it down below because I walk you step by step on what I did and how I truly broke free for good. Like I don't even look back, I don't think about it like that, but I create these videos to help you guys. Okay, so you don't need it. Your mind is telling you that you need it, but you don't. And don't listen to the doctors that are like, it's an addiction. Your body is needing withdrawal symptoms and all this. Like, is mind over matter at the end of the day. It's your willpower. It's you. It's in you to do it, but it's what you're telling yourself. So you don't need it. And the way that you'll discover this is to just put it down and examine your thoughts. You can do this through meditation, journaling. You want to be alone. No music, no TV, no cell phone, nothing. Like go to the park somewhere, go to your room, close the door. You don't want to hear anybody else's voice, your mama come into the door, your boyfriend wanting to go out, nothing. Like be by yourself and tune into yourself to see what are the thoughts in your mind. And then you're going to get a clear idea on what's been playing in your mind telling you that you need it. So you're not your thoughts, and you can break free when you change your thoughts and start telling yourself something new. You take some control over your thoughts. Don't have your thoughts run you. Just observe them and make a shift. You don't need it, I can assure you. I promise you guys, after 10 years of smoking, the first 2 weeks of stopping were the hardest. After 2 weeks, it's pretty much coasted. Okay, so the second thing I learned when I quit smoking weed was how much energy I got back. How much heavy energy it was putting on me. Weed itself is an entity, it's a substance, right? It's smoke, you can see it. So when you smoke it, it's like you're taking on that substance and it's weighing you down. Think of what smoke looks like. It's that big, dark cloud. And so it's alive. It's making you feel different. It's an herb and has some magic. And so the chemicals are messing with you. And so anyways, that's why it changes how you feel when you ingest it and you take it on and it goes into your body. It's seeping into you, all of you, your hair, your clothes, your skin, and it stays like on you after that, especially if you're doing it back to back to back to back. So it's a heavy energy. I didn't see it that way. I didn't see it too deep at all, but now looking back, I'm like, okay, it was taking me over and it was weighing me down. And that's why a lot of times you get really sleepy. You get very lethargic. And I know that there's different, like if you were smoking a sativa or something like that, like there's different strands that maybe gives you a boost of energy. It depends, but you're not really in control of it. And honestly, who wants to live that way anyways? Like having to always reach for that just to clean your house, just to do this thing you don't want to do or thing you do want to do. Like it can just get annoying to be living that way. Like you feel like you can't have a good day without it. And you're free. You want to feel good from your own energy. So something I learned when I quit smoking was that it was putting a heavy energy in my life. It was weighing me down in every way because I was eating more junk food. I was feeling more tired. I was feeling lazy. I wasn't feeling motivated because it puts you in this apathetic state where you're just like, maybe, maybe not. Like you don't really care. And that's what people love about it, because a lot of people smoke weed because they feel stressed out. So then if they smoke, then they don't really care. Like you don't feel too happy, you don't feel too sad, you just feel right in the middle, that gray area. And the smoke is gray. You're real like grayed out, like, and it's kind of sad. You're like, picture leaning up against a fence and you know your eyes are low. You're like not participating in life. You're just zoned out. You're like a zombie out here. And that's something that I didn't think was true. And I wasn't able to see that when I was smoking. But it killed my happiness and it also killed my sadness. But it's a double-edged sword. Instead, you can feel peaceful and happy without it more often off your natural energy. And if you feel sad, go ahead and feel it because it's telling you something that needs to change in your life or that you need to be aware of so that you can make a change. You don't, that like, that's how people get stuck in sadness. When they don't want to face it, they just stay, it just stays with them. But instead, the beauty of not smoking anymore is like, I could be there for myself in a real way. And in this way, I learned how to trust myself and honor my feelings so that I can be in touch with my real self. So I feel lighter energetically. My energy is now natural, right? Not from the substance. Okay, 5 things that changed when 5 things I learned when I stopped smoking weed. I learned about real health, which is your peace of mind. A lot of us are reaching for weed or we're reaching for weed because of the peace it granted us, right? So there's nothing like wrong with you. You're not a bad person. None of that, right? It's like, and I'm not against marijuana, but you don't have to use it. You don't have to be dependent on it. You don't, that doesn't have to be your way of life. There's other ways to get to peace and happiness and feel well within yourself. So you don't want to numb the problem. Real health is not numbing yourself. Real health, real peace of mind is not soothing the problem temporarily. Real health and peace of mind is solving the problem. And that's something that I learned when I put the weed down. How did I truly heal myself? I just started to see what I didn't like about my life. Like, what was making me reach for it? Oh, this pain that happened a long time ago. It felt too hard. I didn't want to feel it, so I numbed it with the weed. Or this thing that I don't want to do. Or I think these things about myself. Like, I don't think my life can change in these ways, so let me soothe myself in the moment. Just giggle it away, have fun with my friends, smoke and pretend everything's okay, but everything wasn't okay. So real health, how you get to your real peace of mind is by being real with yourself, because there's only so long you can fake it. And you know, your body, and God is so patient, the universe, because we have so much grace. It's like you don't just smoke once and like your whole life is over. It's a process. It's a choice that we're making, and we have choices. So let's say you're afraid to face your problems. You've just been smoking weed every day, all the time. Okay, well, little by little, your health will start to deteriorate. How are you doing it, right? It's destroying your lungs. And if you're using a swisher or anything like that, that's real bad. That's horrible. So your organs and the smoke in your body, And before I used to think, well, it's healthy because it's an herb. It's healthy because it's natural. But how are you doing it? Because if you're smoking it, it's very hard to justify that it's healthy for you. If you're vaping, if you're drinking it as a tea, then ask yourself why. Is it just because you like it? It's some type of like little turn up for you, which in that case, do you? Or are you dependent on it because you think you can't feel good without it? There's a very strong difference, right? So these are things I started to learn when I quit smoking weed. Woo, okay. 5 things I learned when I quit smoking weed. Self-sabotage. Yeah. You know, like this is the nitty gritty. I'm not here to just tell you guys to, oh, it's cool to just smoke blunt after blunt after blunt to the face. Like, no, like who cares what other people are doing or what people think is cool or okay or safe or healthy or not a big deal. It's sabotaging yourself. So you're sabotaging your peace of mind. You're destroying your emotional health because you're ignoring your feelings. You're destroying your physical health because you're not taking care of your body. And it caused a lot of anxiety for me. When I look back now, I could see that. For when I used to smoke weed, I used to think, oh, that's a little price to pay because I like the way it makes me feel. But there was also ways it made me feel that I didn't like. It heightened anxiety for me. It wasn't even soothing me, especially towards the end of me using it. I would become paranoid, which that's one of the things it can do for you. It depends who you are. There's a lot of things that can go wrong that could just be avoided, as far as like if you smoke and drive, real bad. Like you could make a mistake that you didn't have to make, or just being clumsy. Oh my gosh, you guys, I would put a pot of water on the stove and go outside to smoke a joint, and I would forget that I had it on. And I would get to the kitchen like, what's that smell? And all the water had evaporated because I forgot that I was boiling water. Like that happened at least 2 times. Like it can make you dumber. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I feel like, who am I to say this now? But it can have you absent-minded. Let's say that. Okay. And it's a self-sabotaging thing because inside you know that you don't need to do it, but you're telling yourself you do. And you can start harming your own life. You're downgrading your life by doing it. So these are things that I didn't want to face when I was smoking, but they're things I learned after I quit. Self-sabotage because the environments that I was putting myself in as well. Okay, so who you're around, your circle, if they're doing it too, maybe they're drinking, maybe they're using other substances. So it's like, it's all bad because remember, everything in life is spiritual. So it's an entity, and especially if you have people drinking around you, playing a certain kind of music around you, where are you? Things can go turn left real quick because you're in the wrong place around the wrong people. When I moved to Arizona from California, that's when it really clicked for me. Like, wow, I'm not in my home state. I don't really know who I'm around, and it's all bad. So I'm so grateful that I just quit because that's not my scene. That's not my vibe. That's not who I really am. And you can shut it too. Just let it go. Okay, 5 things I learned when I quit smoking weed. I learned how to be my real self. And this is probably my favorite thing, you guys, right? Because a lot of us are young and we are not that concerned about our health or this or that. Self-sabotage, we're like, we got it, we got it. Okay, that's your pride, right? Okay, that's your ego. But I learned how to get back to my real self. And without it, you get to see yourself with clear eyes, especially as an adult, because it depends how long you've been using it. So who are you without it? It's a very sweet journey, authenticity, your rawness, you're enough as you are. You get to truly heal yourself because maybe you thought you weren't good enough how you were. And all these past things start coming up from your childhood and your family and things people told you, things you've been believing about yourself. Maybe you think you're a bad person, or you think, you're whatever, all these negative thoughts. But once you put it down, something I learned is like who I really am. Such a sensitive soul, super caring, loving, a good mom, a strong woman, an activist, a humanitarian, what I want to do on the earth, my creative talents, tapping into my gifts from the divine, the universe, connecting with God more. God showing me, look, like, I'm gonna bless you like this. You're making these sacrifices, you're growing, you're learning. Let me bless your life in these beautiful ways. And I started to connect to my true self, my soul. So that's what this channel was about, this beautiful journey that we're all on together. So I hope this video helped you in some way. These are 5 things I learned when I quit smoking weed. Check out the course below if you're serious about quitting. I'm sending you so much love, power, and healing on your journey. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in my next video.